All right, guys, let's do another weekly eBay watch list review episode. We got some stuff to get through, so let's jump right in. Happy Halloween, everybody. It is Thursday, October 31st. All right, first up, I love these cards. I got lots of them. I tell you every week. I did put in a bid at the end, a snipe, but I didn't win this card. A beautiful three-color Suzuki game used patch from 2021 Cup. I do love the design. Look at that piece. I'm going to wait for another one to appear. Did not win that one. A new insert in Upper Deck Series 1 flagship. This is a Sidney Crosby crossed up. It's an SSP. It is an Easter egg, is my understanding. Saw Billy talking about this on the Centerized Cardcast, and he mentioned that it's just a design that he likes, and he's seeing more of it being used out there. Sells for $305 for this Crosby Canadian on 20 bids. Cool card. I love this eBay user's name, Cheeks Muldoon. I'm sure it's a reference to something that I don't know, but anyway, cool card. And we'll see how those do long term. This went cheap just last night. This is a Jack Hughes Fleer Ultra Emerald Medallions, 10 copies made. That's it. PSA 8. It's great. It sells for 56 US, 78 Canadian. I thought that was super cheap. Nice pickup. All right. Jerome Iginla, 2012 limited logos. Now, this is a piece of patch from the Alberta provincial flag. You can see it on his shoulder right there. It's the edge. Black ink on these. He's one of the guys that used black ink. I wish he used blue, just a nicer color on cards. This is my favorite limited logos design, the 2012s. And decent patch, does 386 US, 537 Canadian. I'm not a huge fan of the patch, though. I mean, it's decent because you got a piece of the flag, but so much blue there. I don't know. I don't love it, but still cool card. Sells for 386 USD. Here's a Connor McDavid exquisite tribute patch auto, numbered out of 25. Does 23.94 US, 33.30 or so Canadian. Sold by my friends at MC Sports Cards. Nice looking card. Nice looking card right there. Oh, I was watching that because I was curious what it would do. Now, here's a bunch of cards that were ended because they were no longer available, and I was watching a whole bunch of them. So selling by Sean W. 1940, this nice Marc-Andre Fleury. Here's a beautiful Malkin from the same Premier set, a Crosby from that set as well. Here's a Steve Yzerman Peerless patch. Here's a Steve Yzerman Cup Auto 1/1 parallel. Anyway, all these cards were offered by Sean. He ended them early. Now I know this guy, so I actually gave him a call. I said, "Hey, what happened to these items?" He said, "I might have somebody who's taking them all off me," so I ended them. And then I saw this one, this Fleury, showed off on Instagram today by somebody else. So he obviously moved those cards elsewhere, but I was watching them. Now, Slab Sharks offered this amazing Nathan McKinnon Splendor 1/1 auto patch. And I just love the patch on this card. I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece with all the streaks going through it. Nice auto right there. Good looking card. Grades out of 7.5, but who cares on a nice 1/1 like that? Does 1,700 Canadian again on Slab Sharks. Pat LaFontaine, emblems of endorsement. I love the Islander colors. I was a big LaFontaine fan back in the 80s. And my favorite cards of him are with the Islanders. He has a great autograph as well. This emblems of endorsement sells for 305 Canadian. I was maybe going to play on it, but I didn't. Now, 2022 Metal Universe Retro PMG Sidney Crosby, number 2 of 100, but these are really out of 10 because, you know, there'll be 90 reds or whatever. And but this is the sort of cartoon version, I guess. These aren't for me. I'm not a big fan of them, but I think they're still kind of cool nonetheless. Does 743 US, 1,030 Canadian. Nice looking card. Now, this one's fun because Slab Sharks sold this Bedard McDavid game dated moments. This is a Bedard rookie, basically, from 2023, featuring the first time that Bedard and Connor McDavid met on the ice in an official game. This is a PSA 10, numbered out of not numbered out of 100, but 100 copies. They weren't serially numbered. It just says limited to 100 copies. It's gold. And, you know, there's another card. I forget what year it's from, but it's an Upper Deck canvas of McDavid and Crosby. And it's a beautiful card showing them facing off. I thought I'd like to have a copy of this. Now, I didn't buy this one for $11.25 Canadian, which, what does that work out to? Probably about $8.50 or so USD. Let's just pull out the old calculator here. 11.25. Divide that by 1.35. 8.35 Canadian or US. 8.35 US. Well, I went and bought this one on ComC, and I got it for, where does it say? I got it for $626. So I got it for $620. I got it for $200 cheaper than this one sold for, basically on the same day. So I was pretty happy with that. Speaking of Connor Bedard, here's my favorite rookie card of his, the O-Pee-Chee Premier Diamond Rainbow. This is a PSA 9 out of 75. It ends up getting bid up to $1,000 and ends, but this was actually one of my clients' cards on Slab Sharks, and the buyer on eBay didn't pay it. So it'll get relisted. It'll probably get relisted tonight, in a few hours from now. So we look at the bids, and you can see that 446 got the $1,000 bid in sooner than the bidder here with 55 feedback. And maybe this bidder felt like this guy shilled him up a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, he bid 800, he bid 888. Maybe he's shilling it up. I have no idea what happened, but in any event, it wasn't paid for, and it'll get relisted, and we'll see what happens with it from there on the relist. But beautiful card, PSA 9. And I also checked the population because I own a copy of this. There's 11 PSA 9s and 3 graded higher. So we'll see what happens as it comes up yet again. Here's an Igor Shesterkin O-Pee-Chee Platinum Retro Golden Treasures 101. Beautiful card. Sells for $510 Canadian by Slab Sharks. I love the aesthetic of these retro O-Pee-Chee Platinum cards, and the Golden Treasure. Just beautiful. Beautiful 101 Shesterkin for $510 Canadian. I know it's at $350 or so US, maybe a little bit more. $375. Not bad at all. Here's an Austin Matthews Emblems of Endorsement from 2018. The cup numbered out of 15. Nice patches. It sells for $11.11 Canadian on 18 bids. And then we had another Austin Matthews here. This is the NHL collection. Out of 5 sells for $930. So the card out of 5 sold for less than the card out of 15 before, but that'll happen. No big deal. Emblems of Endorsement certainly have more collectors and equity in the hobby than the NHL collection does, at least at this point right now. Here's an Emblems of Endorsement, Sidney Crosby, 2015 Cup, PSA 7 on the card, 10 on the auto, gets 1,600 Canadian. Nice card. Would be nicer if there was some yellow in one of these patch windows, but that's okay. Still cool patches, a great Crosby auto. His auto is just awesome. 1,600 Canadian on the Emblems of Endorsement. Here's a 2008 limited logos out of 50. Gets 1137 Canadian, graded a BGS 8 with a 10 auto. Beautiful auto on that one as well. And here's another Crosby Cup auto patch. This is the Foundations out of 5, the quad patch auto. Really nice card. 3 of these patches are 3 color. The one is 1 color. It would be so much more balanced. Imagine if this lower left corner or this lower left patch was also 3 color, but nonetheless, still an amazing card. PSA 8 on the card, 10 on the auto, gets $2,312. Great card right there. So we had the Emblems of Endorsement for 1,600. We had the limited logos for 1137 and the Foundations for 2,312. And here's a couple signature patches now. This one's from 2010. PSA 8 on the card, 10 on the auto, gets 765, while this one from the next year gets 953. It's a 9 on the card and a 10 on the auto. Both 3 color patches, but the one, I guess, just the one with a higher grade sells for more. Maybe I think it's a nicer card too, the 2011 versus the 2010. And I'm watching these just because we have Expo coming up, lots of buying opportunities, want to see what cards are selling for. Here's a SP Authentic limited auto patch out of 25. Crosby does $610. BGS 9. Pretty cool card right there. Luc Robitaille, one of the best left wingers of all time. Yeah, I think he was the highest scoring left winger until Alex Ovechkin came along. And, Hall of Famer. Beautiful cup signature patches from 2010 out of 75. Does 270 Canadian. Not bad for a Robitaille card, but just an amazing patch right there. And look at the auto, how bright and blue it is. I love that card. Thought it was super cool. I bring up this Vladimir Tarasenko Cup RPA for a few reasons. First of all, it sells for $122.50 Canadian, which is really peanuts compared to what his card was selling for when he had his initial hot streak several years ago. This card was selling for, upwards of $1,000. And it's just a lesson to the wise that, some of these cards that we're seeing big money being spent on some of the rookies today, those values just aren't going to last, and people are going to be sitting on a hot potato here. This is a great deal. $122.50, a great deal for a Tarasenko Cup RPA, I would say. But that's, we have players who are currently hot, whose cards are currently selling for $1,000, and in a few years they will be down to $122.50 as well. Just wanted to point that out. I love these Ice Premier auto patches. This is Cole Caulfield out of 10, one of my new favorite players, simply because he changed his jersey number to Johnny Gaudreau's. 3,161 for his Ice Premier on 36 bids by Slab Sharks. And this is cool. A 1998 Topps Gold Label Gretzky 1/1 PSA 9. Seller was asking $7,000 US, and MK Sports Cards on Instagram ended up buying this for his, amazing Gretzky 90s collection. And so I was just watching I had this on the watch list, and then we were DMing and trying to figure out what it's worth, and he ends up picking it up, and congratulations to him. Next up is a Gold Outburst Young Gun Cutter Gauthier from 2024. Sells for $4,138 US, 5,750 Canadian. Again, want to see. I think these are big numbers for unproven rookies, but that's what this hobby is. There's so much prospecting and putting money into unproven players, and that one didn't disappoint. Now, this guy is proven. Marcel Dion, he's a top 5 point getter in NHL history, Hall of Famer. Never won the Stanley Cup, though. And his Golden Treasure from 2018, which is my favorite OPG Platinum design, sells for $202.50 US, 281 Canadian. This is a new insert, holotypes. This is a living set, meaning that you're going to see this card, this insert, come out year after year. And my understanding is that you're never going to see the same player twice. So we have Connor Bedard in this year's set. I think we have Crosby. We're going to look at one shortly, and you're never going to see these again. That's what I was told by someone at Upper Deck. So in any event, the Connor Bedard here, they're 1 in 504 packs, sells for $282 Canadian. We do have a couple more. We'll get to them shortly. Here's a Connor McDavid scripted swatches out of 35, sells for $438 US, 610 Canadian. And it's an okay card. I'm not a huge fan of scripted swatches, but what's with this background image? Like, I don't know. Sure, it's a color match to the patch with the checkered tablecloth, but I don't know. I don't think the seller did themselves any favors by putting that tablecloth underneath the card. Here's a Wayne Gretzky Emblems of Endorsement from 2010. It sells for $4,800 US, 66.75 Canadian. BGS 9 LA Kings. Both sweet 3-color patches. Now, this is a Mitch Marner 2016 Fleer Showcase, Essential Credentials out of 39 PSA 8, and it's a rookie. And it barely gets $79 US. So cheap. These are flying under the radar right now. I've seen some Austin Matthews cards like this sell. I'm a fan of these. I have 2 of the Matthews. I don't have a Marner. I was watching it to see what would happen, and probably should have grabbed one, because that is just Bubka's price point right there. Great deal, whoever bought that. Great eye, whoever bought that one. 2024 Upper Deck flagship Young Guns Red Outburst. It says Young Guns Renewed but this is not a Young Guns Renewed. Those are the ones that have the artwork from Luke the Cardist. This is simply the Red Outburst Young Gun Tribute versus Renewed. Now it sells for 16.25 Canadian, and I was looking, and then I noticed there's this weird like hologram sort of sticking out of the top here. So then I scan my eyes down. I see, well, look at this. Look what the seller did. The seller points it out, puts a circle around. Like, awesome. What a great seller this guy is. CAD Collectibles. You got my respect by not only putting the picture of it up there, but circling it and calling people's attention to it. Well done. I don't know what this would have sold for if it didn't have that, but you got to think more than 16.25 Canadian. Here's a Connor McDavid signature material 3-color auto patch. Really nice card from 2022 Cup. I haven't seen many cards with this design yet, the new Cup signature patch, but really a gorgeous card. Really like that. 1160 US, 1610 Canadian it sells for. Second year Upper Deck Bedard base card, right? His first year base is his rookie Young Guns, but this is the Outburst version. I was curious what's it going to sell for. These aren't numbered. The Red Outburst are. It does 103 Canadian dollars. Kind of cool. I think it's a neat card. And a Johnny Gaudreau, rest in peace, Cup RPA, BGS 95 3-color patch does 610 Canadian. nice to see. I think, before he passed away, this might have sold for less than that. I'm not exactly sure. Ken Griffey Jr. Essential Credentials Future, ungraded, so it's raw, numbered out of 104, sells for $31.20 US, 43.35 Canadian. I mean, I watch it because I want to buy one of these cards, but too rich for me right now. Great looking card. Now here's one that I wanted to snag this card. It's an O-Pee-Chee Blast from the Past Refractor, Gretzky rookie, came out in 98. Not a rookie, not as a true rookie card, but it's a Blast from the Past rookie, and it's beautiful. It's a PSA 8, and I wanted to bid on this, but I was doing a live stream when it ended. And as I'm doing the live stream, someone puts into the chat, I just want a big card, and says what it is. I'm like, oh, you got that? Lucky you. I forgot to bid. So at least I knew who got it. And congrats to them. Again, one of these cup patches that I collect. Here's a Boone Jenner. This sells for 41 Canadian. I was thinking about it, but I think I'd like to get a nicer patch on my copy. So we'll see. I'll keep my eyes open for another one. If you have one, please let me know. Joe Thornton, 97 Upper Deck 6th Sense Wizards. My favorite 90s insert right here. It's actually a parallel of an insert, even better. Seller's asking 400 Canadian. They end up taking 198 US, so probably 275, 280 Canadian on a $400 ask. Goodbye. I love Thornton cards in Boston for whatever reason. So I was watching that one to see what would happen. Here's another one of those holo types I was telling you about. This is the Crosby. Again, it's a living set. You're not going to see another Crosby holo types in a future year. 94 US, 130 Canadian on the Crosby. I don't know if those are going to take off at all. We'll see. Here's a Connor Bedard holo types. Again, we're not going to see another one of these. 220 US, 306 Canadian. Yager, first ever hockey jambalaya, came out in 2008 in Fleer EX or Fleer Ultra, and this is an SGC 9.5. Gets 381 US, 530 Canadian on ComC auctions. Beautiful card. I own a copy. Want to see what it would do. And here's a Connor McDavid 2022 Metal Universe PMG green, numbered out of 100, but really out of 10. Only 10 greens. The rest will be other colors. Sells for 689 US, 958 Canadian. It's a nice card. I do like it. Again, I'm not buying any more modern day PMGs, but the one thing that throws me off on this is like that you don't see, like, his leg just kind of cuts off. Both of his legs just cut off mid card. And I'm sure that has to do with the original base card design, but it doesn't transfer that well, in my opinion, to the PMGs. It kind of looks like a error almost, but still a cool card. Here's an Ovechkin 2007 limited logos. I think it's the only year Upper Deck ever made the limited logos vertical versus horizontal. Does 1925 US, 2675 Canadian. Beautiful card. One of my favorite Crosby rookies is this ultimate autograph, numbered out of 299. Sells for 3,050 US, 4,250 Canadian. A card by MC Sports Cards. A card that I was just really curious to see what it would do. PSA 9. Great looking card. And here's, another one where I'm going to wait for a better patch. I'm a big Sam Bennett fan. Happy he won a cup. He was a great flame. Sold by friends at the clubhouse. Only sells for $11 US, 15 Canadian. Maybe I should have just grabbed it, but I wouldn't have loved it. I've got worse patches in my collection, but I'll wait for another one. We'll see what happens there. Crosby autograph, cup gold variation. Seller's asking $11.50 US. Ends up accepting for that card. They end up accepting $9.50 USD. So asking $11.50, took $200 off the ask. Cool card. Crosby, I don't know about the autograph. It's a little bit small, but still nice Crosby auto patch. Now, this Steve Yzerman scripted sticks, the seller was asking an opening bid of $400. I'm not a big fan of auctions that have your opening bid so high. I think you're better off starting this off at 99 cents or $9.99 if you want to generate bids, because this is a cool card, great autograph. $400 doesn't get a bid. So what does he do? He relists it. Same thing. 400. Oh no, he relists it. Yeah. Place bid it. So minimum bid of 400, or you can make an offer higher than 400 if you want to buy it now. But I think that this is an inexperienced eBayer here with 125 feedback. And I think that they will eventually realize that they should just auction this thing off. It'll do more than 400 if they auction it. I don't know what it'll do, but I have a feeling it'll do like somewhere between 450 and 600. But time will tell. We'll see what they end up doing. if they sell it on this listing. And then this Pavel Bure signature patches from the Cup. Beautiful 4-color patch out of 35. IG Mikey J. Ray was asking 2,500 Canadian. This one, he ended it because there was an error in the listing. So upon discovering his error, he relists it at 2,200 Canadian. Since I was watching it, I got an offer from him, which would have gone out to all the watchers, I think for 1,900. So this guy's willing to take, about 1,900 Canadian for the card. And but it's no longer available. So don't know what happened to it. Beautiful card. And it's one that I would actually love to add to my little Pavel Bure collection. All right, guys, those are the cards from this week's episode. Now I am working on a special eBay watch list episode of the stupidest priced cards I find on eBay, like way high, like buy it nows. And I've got about 6 or 7 so far in this, in one of these watch lists that I've created. And so I'm going to bring that to you soon, hopefully next week. And yeah, just my opinions on some cards that some eBay sellers have listed for. When I say stupid, I mean that. I don't mean they're a little bit high. I mean, these are just stupid, like stupid prices. So anyway, we'll see. I'm sure they have reasons for it. Some people just want to display their cards, and I really don't have anything against that, but I'm still going to call you out when I see that price, and I'll let you know if I think it's stupid or not. So we'll do that next time, guys. Happy Halloween. We'll be back on Saturday with a Sports Cards Live episode, a live stream. And that's it. Have a great night, everybody.